Hey everybody, welcome back to the Court of Random Opinion. My name is Lauren Neidigh. Last night in Texas federal court, Blake Lively filed 802 pages in her attempt to dismiss Jed Wallace's lawsuit. I combed through all of that last night and I whittled things down to just the relevant information, the new information, that kind of thing. Cut out the complaints that we've seen from Justin and Blake that were included as exhibits, which were hundreds and hundreds of pages that the judge is going to have to go through. But I want to give you just a quick recap of some of the notable things that we saw, and I'll also include a link to the 330 pages of the filings that I think are most relevant. One of the first things I want to point out is during this petty squabble over who was supposed to accept service on Jed Wallace's behalf when Blake was trying to have him deposed in Texas, Blake Lively and her attorneys decided that they would go ahead and expose Jed Wallace's health condition, which he had rightfully had redacted by request in the New York court. He wanted that information private. He had a right to have that information private, per the judge's rules. But since they're so mad at him for trying to sue her in Texas, they decided to go ahead and leak it out here. And let me tell you, it does not make them look good. You can hear how annoyed they are about this when they said, Wallace evaded and obstructed Miss Lively's persistent efforts to seek information from him before filing this lawsuit in anticipation of becoming a party in the New York litigation. First of all, she did not name him in her lawsuit until after he filed a lawsuit against her in Texas. Here's where it gets worse. Wallace's counsel also indicated that Wallace had suffered a life-threatening heart incident because of the stress caused by attempts to serve the Rule 202 petition. So we now have multiple people who supposedly ran an untraceable smear campaign against you. A smear campaign so untraceable but that you had 800 plus pages to outline your claims of it to the courts in Texas. We now have multiple people who have been hospitalized due to the stress of daring to work with this woman. And in Wallace's case, not even work with her. Barely even work adjacent to with her. They have never met. He was never on the film set. And here's where they came right out of the gate saying, this case is a sham, designed solely to harass and retaliate against Blake Lively for exercising her right to seek legal redress for workplace sexual harassment and retaliation. Again, Jed Wallace, never on the set of the film, never met Blake Lively, still hasn't met Blake Lively. When I said that line, this case is a sham, people thought that I was kidding because sometimes I like to be dramatic when I'm reading these filings. No, that's word for word what they wrote here. And his lawsuit has nothing to do with retaliation. This is absolute babbling blunderous bullshit. Again, she continues to claim people are undermining her credibility in retaliation for raising concerns about sexual harassment and other misconduct. We've been through this 1,000 times. People just don't like you. Why? Because you do shit like this. All of this just to try to get his case dismissed or moved to New York court so that all donut shops in Texas can be marked safe. Here they're alleging Justin made some sort of comments about his genitalia, which, what the fuck does that have to do with jurisdictional issues in this Texas lawsuit against Jed Wallace? Nothing! Not only that, but it's almost certainly untrue because she appears to have, based on evidence, actual evidence, fabricated or exaggerated every single one of her claims. You know what? After reading just those two parts that pissed me off, I think that I'm going to go ahead and call it for now. I'm going to give you guys a link to the document as well as to my friend Leanne Newton's thread on X where she explains a lot of this stuff, breaks it down. I'm going to take the rest of the night off, I think, unless something really crazy comes up. I'm going to go do something else. So I will see you guys tomorrow.